The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Volume 5, Section 1, Epistles. 108. The Mutt, 5th July 1901. My dear Mary, I am very thankful for your very long and nice letter, especially as I needed just such a one to cheer me up a bit. My health has been and my health has been and is very bad. I recover for a few days only. Then comes the inevitable collapse. Well, this is the nature of the disease anyway. I have been touring of late in eastern Bengal and Assam. Assam is next to Kashmir, the most beautiful country in India, but very unhealthy. The huge Brahmaputra winding in and out of the mountains and hills, studded with islands, is of course worth one's while to see. My country is, as you know, the land of waters, but never did I realize before what that meant. The rivers of East Bengal are oceans of rolling fresh water, not river. The rivers of East Bengal are oceans of rolling fresh water, not rivers, and so long that steamer work on them for weeks. Miss MacLeod is in Japan. She is, of course, charmed with the country and asked me to come over, but my health not permit such a long voyage. Desisted. I desisted. I have seen Japan before, so you are enjoying Vince. The old man must be delicious. Only Vince was the home of the old Sherlock, was it not? Sam is with you this year. I am so glad. He must be enjoying the good things of Europe after his dreary experience in the north. I have not made any interesting friends of late, and the old ones that you knew of have nearly all passed away. Even the Raja of Khetri. He died of a fall from a high tower at Sikandra, the tomb of Emperor Akbar. He was repairing this old grand piece of architecture at his own expense at Agra. And one day, while on inspection, he missed his footing and it was a sheer fall of several hundred feet. Thus, we sometimes come to grief on account of our zeal for antiquity. Take care, Mary. Don't be too jealous for your piece of Indian antiquity. In the mission seal, the snake represents mysticism, the sun knowledge, the worked up water activity, and the lotus love. The swan of soul is the midst of all. With love to Sam and to Mother. Ever with love, Vivekanand. P.S. My letter had to be short. I am out of sort of all the time, and it is the body. 109. The Mud Bellur, 6 July 1901. Dear Christina, dear Christina, things come to me by fits. Today I am in a fit of writing. The first thing to do is, therefore, to pen a few lines to you. I know I am known to be nervous. I worry much. But it seems, dear Christina, you are not far behind in that trick. One of our poets says, even the mountains will fly, the fire will be cold. At the heart of the great will never change. I am small, very, but I know you are great, and my faith is always in your true heart. I worry about everything except you. I have dedicated you to the mother. She is your shield, your guide. No harm can reach you. Nothing hold you down a minute. I know it. Ever yours in love, Vivekanand. 110. The Mutt Billur. Hover District, Bengal, 27th August 1901. My dear Mary, I would that my health were what you expected, at least to write you a long letter. It is getting worse, in fact, every day, and so many complications and botherations without that. I have ceased to notice it at all. I wish you all joy in your lovely Swiss chariot, splendid height, splendid health, good appetite, and light study of Swiss, or other antiquities, just to liven things up a bit. I am so glad you are breathing the free air of the mountains, but sorry that Sam is not in the best of the health. Well, there is no anxiety about it. He has naturally such a fine physique. Woman's mood and man's luck, the gods themselves do not know what to speak of men. My instinct may be very feminine, but what I am exercised with just this moment is that you get little better of manliness about you. Oh, Mary, your brain, health, beauty, and everything is going to waste just for lack of one essential assertion of individuality. Your haughtiness, spirit, etc. are all nonsense, only mockery. You are best a boarding school girl. No backbone, no backbone. Alas, this lifelong leading string business, this is very harsh, very brutal, but I cannot help it. I love you, Mary. Sincerely, genuinely. I cannot cheat you with namby, sugar candies. Nor do they ever come to me. Then again, I am a dying man. I have no time to fool in. Wake up, girl. I expect now from you letters of right slashing orders. Give it right straight. I need a good deal of rousing. I did not hear anything of McWage when they were here. I have not had any direct message from Mrs. Bull or Navidita, but I hear regularly from Mrs. Sever, and they are all in Norway as guests for or guests of Mrs. Bull. I don't know when Nivedita comes to India or if she ever comes back. I am in a sense retired man. I am in a sense a retired man. I don't keep much note of what is going on about the movement. Then the movement is getting bigger and it is impossible for one man to know all about it minutely. I now do nothing except trying to eat and sleep and nurse my body the rest of the time. Goodbye, dear Mary. Hope we shall meet again somewhere in this life. But meeting or not meeting, I remain ever your loving brother Vivekanand. 111. The Mud Billur, Hover, 29th August 1901. Blessed and beloved, I am getting better, though still very weak. The present disturbance is simply nervous. Anyhow, I am getting better every day. I am so much behounded to mother for her kind proposal. Only I am told by everyone in the mutt and the Nilambar Babu and the Nilambar Babu's place that only I am told by everyone in the mud that Nilambar Babu's place and the whole of the village of Belur at that becomes very malarious this month and the next. Then the rent is so extravagant. I would therefore advise mother to take a little house in Calcutta if she decides to come. I may in all probability go and live there, as it is not good for me to catch malaria over and above the present prostration. I have not asked the opinion of Saradananda or Brahmananda yet. Both are in Calcutta. Calcutta is healthier this 2 months and very much less expensive. After all, let her do as she is guided by Lord. We can only suggest and may be entirely wrong. If she settles or if she selects Nimbalkar's house for existence, do first arrange the rent, etc. beforehand. Mother knows best. That is all I know now. With all love and blessings, ever yours in Lord Vivekanand. 112. The Mud Bellur, Howard District, 7 September 1901. Blessed and beloved, I had to consult Brahmanand and others, and they were everyone in Calcutta. Hence, the delay is replying to your last. The idea of taking the house for the whole year must be worked out with deliberation, as on the one hand there is some risk of catching malaria in Billur this month. In Calcutta, on the other hand, there is a danger of plague. Then again, one is sure to avoid fever if one takes good care and not to go into the interior of this village. The immediate bank of the river being entirely free from fever. Plague has not come to the river yet, and all the available places in the village are filled with marwaris during the plague season. Then again, you ought to mention the maximum rent you can pay, and we seek the house accordingly. The quarter in the city is another suggestion. For myself, I have almost become a foreigner to Calcutta, but others will soon find a house after your mind. The sooner you decide these 2 points, first, whether mother stays to Bellur or Calcutta, and second, if Calcutta, what rent, quarters and quarters, the better, as it can be done in the 3 days after receiving your reply. Yours with love and blessing, Vivekanand. P.S. We are all right here. Moti has returned after his weekly stay in Calcutta. It is raining here day and night, last 3 days. Two of our cows have calved. 113. The Mud Bellur, Hover, 8th November 1901. Dear Joe, by this time you must have received the letter explaining the word abatement. I did not write the letter, nor send the wire. I was too ill at the time to do either. I have been ever since my trip to East Bengal almost bedridden. Now I am worse than ever, with the additional disadvantages of impaired eyesight. I would not write these things, but some people requires detail, it seems. Well, I am so glad that you are coming over with your Japanese friend. They will have every attention in my power. I will most possibly be in Madras. I have been thinking of leaving Calcutta next week and working my way gradually to the south. I do not know whether it is possible to see the Orisian temple in company with your Japanese friends. I do not know whether I shall be allowed inside myself owing to my eating michicha food. Lord Curzon was not allowed inside. However, your friends are welcome to what I can do always. Miss Muller is in Calcutta. Of course, she has not visited us. Yours with all love, Vivekanand. 114 Gopal Lal Villa, Bannar, Varanasi, Cantonment, 9th February 1902. My dear Swarup Panand, in answer to Charu's letter, tell him to study the Brahma Sutra himself. What does he mean by Brahma Sutras containing reference to the Buddhism? He means the Bhashya, of course, or rather ought to mean. And Shankara was only the last Bhashyakar, commentator. There are references, though, in the Buddhistic literature to Vedanta and the Mahayana school of Buddhism is even Advaitist. Why does Amar Singh, or Buddhist, give has one of the name of Buddha, Advaitavadi? Charu writes the word Brahman does not occur in the Upanishad. Quell Bistis. I hold the Mahayan to be the older of the two schools of Brahma, of Buddhism. The theory of Maya is as old as Rigveda or Rika Samhita. The Shweta Upanishad contains the word Maya, which is developed out of Prakriti. I hold that Upanishad to be a least order than Buddhism. I have had much light of late about Buddhism and I am ready to prove. First, that Shiv worship in various forms antedated the Buddhist. That the Buddhists tried to get hold of the sacred places of Shavyas, but failing in that made new places in the precinct, just as you find now at Bodh Gaya and Sarnath, that is Varanasi. Second, the story of Agni Puran about Gayasura or does not refer to Buddha at all, as Dr. Rajendra Lal will have it, but simply to be a pre existing story. Third, that Buddha went to live on Shirsha mountain proves the pre existence of the place. Fourth, Gaya was the place of ancestors' worship already and the footprint worship the Buddhists copied from the Hindus. Fifth, about Varanasi, even the oldest record go to prove it has the great place of a Shiv worship, etc. etc. Many are the few facts I have gathered in Bodh Gaya and from Buddhist literature. Tell Charu to read from himself, for himself, and not be swallowed by foolish opinions. I am rather well here in Varanasi, and if I go on improving in this way, it will be a great gain. A total revolution has occurred in my mind about the relationship of Buddhism and Neo Hinduism. I may not live to work out of glimpse, but I shall leave the line of work indicated, and you and your brethren will have to work it out. Yours with all blessing and love, Vivekanand. 115. Gopal Lal Villa, Banaras, Cantonment, 10th February 1902. Welcome to India once more, dear mother and daughter. The A copy of Madras Journal that I received through the kindness of Joe that delighted me exceedingly as the reception Nivedita had in Madras was for a good of both Nivedita and Madras. And here her speech was indeed beautiful. I hope you are resting well after your long journey, and so is Nivedita. I wish it so much that you should go for a few hours to a few villages west of Calcutta to see the old Bengali structures made of wood, bamboo, cane, mica, and grass. These are the Bangalore's most artistic. Alas, the name is travestied nowadays by every pigist appropriating the name. In the old days, a man who built a place still built a bungalow for the reception of guests. The art is dying out. I wish I could build the whole of Nivedita school in that style. Yet it is good to see a few that at remained at least one. Brahmanand will arrange for it, and you have only to take a journey of a few hours. Mr. Okakura has started on his short tour. He intends to visit Agra, Gwalior, Ajanta, Ellora, Chittor, Udaipur, Jaipur, and Delhi. A very well-educated rich young man of Varanasi, with whose father we had a long-standing relationship, came back to this city yesterday. He is specially interested in art and spending purposely a lot of money in his attempt to revive dying Indian art. He came to see me only a few hours after Mr. Okakura left. He is just the man to show him artistic India, what little is left, and I am sure he will be much benefited by Okakura's suggestion. Okakura just found a common water vessel here, used by the servants. The shape and the embossed work on it simply charmed him, but as it is common earthenware and would not bear the journey, he left a request with with me to have it reproduced in brass. I was at my wits' end as to what to do. My young friend comes a few hours after, and not only undertaking to have it done, but offers to show a few hundreds of embossed design in terracotta, infinitely superior to the one Akakura penciled. He also offered to show us old planting. He also offered to show us old planting in that wonderful old styles. Only one family is left in Varanasi who can paint after the old style yet. One of them has painted the whole hunting scene on the peel on a pea. uh, One has one of them has painted the whole hunting scene on the pea, perfect in a detail and action. I hope Okakuru will come to this city on his return and be this gentleman's guest and see a bit of what is left. Niranjan has gone with Mr. Okakuru, and as he is a Japanese, they don't object to his going into any temple. It have been coming. It seems that the Tibetans and other North Buddhists have been coming here to worship Shiva all along. They allowed him to touch the sign of Shiva and worship. Mrs. Annie Besant tried once, but poor woman, although she bared her feet, put on a sari, and humiliated herself to the dust before the priest, she was not admitted even into the compound of the temple. The Buddhists are not considered non-Hindus in any of our great temples. My plans are not settled. I may shift from this place very soon. Shivanand and boys send you all their welcome, regards, and love. I am, as ever, yours most affectionate son, Vivekanand. 116, Varanasi, 12th February 1902. May all the powers come unto you. May Mother herself be your hands and mind. It is immense power, irresistible, that I pray for you, and if possible, alone, along with it, infinite peace. If there was any true in Sri Ramakrishna, if there was any true in Sri Ramakrishna, may he take you into his leadings, even as he did me, nay, 1,000 times more. Vivekanand. 1717, Gopal Lal Villa, Varanasi, Cantonment, 12 February 1902. My dear Rakal, I was glad to get all the details news. I was glad to get all the detailed news from your letter regarding Nivedita school. I have written to her what I have to say. My opinion is that she should be what she considered to be best. Don't ask my opinion on any other matter either. That makes me lose my temper. Just do that work for me. That is all. Send money for a present. Only a few rupees are left. Kanya Nirbhayanand. Nirbhayanand. Kanya Nirbhayanand lives on Madhukari, does his japa at the bathing ghat, and comes and sleeps here at night. Nidha, Nwida does a poor man's work. Nwida does the poor man's work and comes and sleeps here at night. Uncle and Niranjan have gone to Agra. I may get their letter today. Continue doing your work as the Lord guides. Why bother about the opinion of this man and that? My love to all. Your affectionate Vivekanand. 118 Gopal Lal Villa, Varanasi, Cantonment, 18 February 1902. My dear Rakal, you must have received by this time my letter of yesterday containing an acknowledgment of money. The main object of this letter is to write about you should go and meet him as soon as you get the letter. Get a con- competent doctor and have a disease diagnosed properly. Now where is Vishnu Mohini, the eldest daughter of Ram Babu? She has recently been widowed. Anxiety is worse than disease. Give a little money, whatever is needed. If in this hell of the world one can bring the little joy and peace, even for a day, into the heart of a single person, that much alone is true. This I have learnt after suffering all my life, all else in mere moonshine. Reply very soon, uncle. And Niranjan have returned a letter from Gwalior. Here is here it is now becoming hot gradually. This place was cooler than Bodh Gaya. I was very pleased to hear that Saraswati Puja was celebrated by Nivedita with great success. If she wants to open a school soon, let her do so. Reading from the sacred books, worship, study, see that all these are being maintained. My love to all. Yours affectionate Vivekanand. 119 Gopal Lal Villa, Varanasi, Cantonment, 21st February 1902. My dear Rakal, I received a letter from you just now. If mother and grandmother desire to come, send them over. It is better to get away from Calcutta now, when the season of plug is on. There is a widespread plug in Allahabad. I do not know if it is spread in Varanasi this time. Tell Mrs. Bull from me that the tour to Ellora and other places involves a difficult journey, and it is now very hot. Her body is so tired that it is not proper to go on the tour at present. It is several days since I received the letter from uncle. The last news was that he had gone to Ajanta. Mahant also has not replied. Perhaps he will do so. Perhaps he will do so with the reply to Raja Pyari Mohan's letter. Write me in detail about the matter of Nepal minister. Give my special love and blessing to Mrs. Bull, Mrs. MacLeod and others. My love and greetings to you, Baburam, and all others. Have Gopal Dada got the letter? Kindly look after the goat a bit. Yours affectionate Vivekanand. P.S. All the boys here send you their respectful salutation. 120 Gopal Lal Villa, Varanasi, Cantonment, 24th February 1902. This morning I got a small American parcel sent by you. I have received no letter, neither the registered one you refer to nor any other. Whether the Nepalese gentleman came and what happened, I have not been able to know anything at all about it. To write a simple letter, so much trouble and so much delay. Now I shall be relieved if I get the accounts. That also I get who knows after how many months. Your affectionate Vivekanand. 121. The Mutt, 21st April 1902. Dear Joe, it seems the plan of going to Japan seems to have come to a naught. Mrs. Bull is gone. You are going. I am not sufficiently acquainted with the Japanese. Sadananda has accompanied the Japanese to Nepal along with Kanya. Christian could not start Christina, sorry. Christina could not start earlier. The Margot could not go till the end of this month. I am getting the splendidly, they say, but at very weak and no water to drink. Anyhow, the chemical analysis shows a great improvement. The swelling about the feet and the complaints I have all disappeared. Give my infinite love to the Lady Betty and Mr. Liggett, to Albert and Holly. The baby has my blessing. The baby has my blessings from before birth and will have forever. How did you like Mayavati? Write me a line about it. With everlasting love, Vivekanand. 122. The Mud Bellur, over 15th May 1902. Dear Joe, I send you the letter of Madame Calva. I am somewhat better, but of course far from what I expected. A great deal, a great idea of quiet has come upon me. I am going to retire for good. No more work for me. If possible, I went revert to my old days of begging. All blessings attend you, Joe. You have been a good angel to me. With everlasting love, Vivekanand. 123. The Mutt, 14th June 1902. Dear Dhira Mutt, Dear Dhira Mutt, in my opinion, a race must first cultivate a great respect for motherhood through the sanctification and inviolability of marriage before it can attain to the ideal of perfect chastity. The Roman Catholics and the Hindus holding marriage sacred and evaluates has have produced a great chaste man and woman of immense power. To Arab, marriage is the contract or a full forceful possession to be dissolved at will, and we do not find there the development of idea of the virgin or the brahmacharyan. Modern Buddhism, having fallen among race who had not yet come up to the evolution of marriage, has made the travesty of monasticism. So, until there is developed in Japan a great and sacred ideal about marriage, apart from the mutual attraction and love, I do not see how there can be great monks and nuns. As you have come to see that the glory of life is chastity, so my eyes also have been opened to the necessity of this great sanctification for the vast majority, in order that a few lifelong chest powers may be produced. I wanted to write many things, but the flesh is weak. Whosoever worships me, for whatsoever desire, I meet him with that. Vivekanand. I want to write many things. I want to write many things, but the flesh is weakened. Whosoever worships me, for whatsoever desire, I meet him what I meet him with that. Whosoever worships me, for whatsoever desire, I meet him with that. Vivekanand.